August is finally coming to a close. Today we will be discussing sneakers to resell in the month of September. If you're not into reselling, that's completely okay as well. You could use this guide to know what are going to be the most hyped sneakers, the most limited, or even the most popular general releases that may potentially go on sale because, hey, we're all trying to save a little bit of money here and there. Specifically, we'll be discussing the name of the sneaker, the retail, the release date, and whether the sneaker will be profitable or not, or if they may even sit on shelves, resulting in a sale price. Feel free to subscribe and enable post notifications just to stay 100% updated on all these profitable releases throughout the month, because September is looking to be absolutely insane. For any small updates as well, you can feel free to follow KeithAdam10. That is my Twitter, where I tweet out urgent information such as shock drops or anything of that nature. Kicking it off, let's begin with September 1st, an absolutely chaotic day to start off the month. Starting off with an absolute bang, we have the Dunk Low Chicago dropping for $100. These will undoubtedly be extremely profitable and hold an incredible margin as well. Now, what's unfortunate is on September 1st, only some retailers, very few, will be dropping on this date. The rest will be dropping on a later date, still in September though. On the contrary, also September 1st, for $150, we will be seeing the Iverson Reebok Mid Question for $150. For retail, I do not expect these to be profitable, but if you do want a personal pair, I wouldn't suggest sleeping because they do tend to sell out. Also September 1st, we're supposed to be seeing the Orange Dunk Low Ceramic drop for $100. These will also be extremely profitable with an incredible margin as well. Also September 1st, like I said, this day is absolutely chaotic. For $200 each, we will be getting the Spruce and also an iron colorway in the ISPA Drifter, both of which I wouldn't suggest sleeping on if you do want a personal pair. However, I do not suggest purchasing them with resale intentions. At the very best, perhaps you could make a few dollars on the white pair if you don't have tax in your location, and still you would have to expect a poor margin, but really not suggesting these for resale purposes, especially when there's so many opportunities on September 1st. So anyway, moving on to some other September 1st drops. For $200, we will be getting the Adidas Z9000 4D. I would only suggest purchasing these for personal wear as of now. 4D hype has unfortunately really died down. Hasn't been that hyped in a very long time. These aren't a collab or anything special, so I wouldn't suggest them for resale purposes. Now, another September 1st drop. I know it's crazy, right? The Air Max 2 CB94 in purple will be dropping for $160. There is lunch money potential on these, primarily on the larger sizes if you do have no tax in your state, and potentially even if you do have tax, but then you would of course have to expect a poor margin. Finally, the last shoe for September 1st, not all because some already have released, will be the rest of the retailers for the Yeezy 700 V3 Azerath. These are just going to be the delayed drops that did not release due to the social movements. Retail is only $200 for men's pairs, and you could expect all sizes to be profitable with an incredible margin as well. So evidently, September starts off absolutely crazy. Now, prior to moving on to the rest of September, for anyone who has been patiently waiting, thank you guys. I'm happy to announce that Endurance will finally be having a limited restock for US and Europe September 1st, Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m. local in Europe, tweeted from KeithAdam10. So essentially, Endurance is a group to help you completely exploit the secondary market for any type of product. It is far more than just sneakers and clothing. What makes Endurance so different though? Well, to start, Endurance offers numerous softwares completely free for all members to help them exploit drops. All members, for example, have access to a location spoofer to help them exploit sneaker stashes, sneakers passes, etc. All members have access to an autofill tool to help them destroy restocks on Shopify or Supreme or even initial drops as well. All members have access to a custom queue bot to help them efficiently pass waiting rooms on sites like Adidas, Finish Line, Mesh, Kicks USA, and even has a cookie feature for efficiently passing queue on Yeezy Supply. There's also a Supreme add to cart tool to make manual checkouts extremely easy. There's also a Dick's Sporting Goods bypass system. Then of course we also offer software to aid botters too, such as an Akamai cookie gen to help you generate cookies efficiently, as well as a tool to help you generate one-click Gmails efficiently, a profile converter, an account gen, and much more. Not to mention even cheap in-house residential proxies available 24/7 with the most reliable providers. That's not the end of it though. We love innovation and we're always developing new things to separate us from others, so keep your eyes open. My personal favorite though, above all, is the Nike sneakers early info for shock drops, scratches, AR hunts, sneaker stashes on all hyped sneakers. Then when it comes to monitors, we cover everything you could possibly think of, any site at all. You could even request a site and we could have that site coded on demand. Some of our biggest hitters this month were from our custom Hibbett and Nike monitor, which were absolutely insane manual cookouts. So anyway, again, the limited endurance restock will be Tuesday, September 1st at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m. local in Europe, tweeted from Keith Adam 10. But anyway, I know you guys came here for a video, so why don't we continue? On to September 2nd, we will be getting a restock of the Triple Black Ultra Boost 1.0, which initially dropped in 2016. Demand and sale volume is holding up quite well for these, and honestly, if you do have no tax in your state, there's actually solid potential for some quick lunch money on these, and the margin isn't terrible. Keep in mind, Adidas does have free returns, so there is absolutely no risk if you're purchasing from Adidas. Now moving on to September 3rd for about $140, the Kai Bird S2, What the USA will be dropping. I suggest only copying these for personal wear, and you may even potentially be able to find these below retail in the secondary market eventually, so I would be patient if you want a personal of these. And also September 3rd, we will be seeing the Kai V3 Atomic Pink drop for $110. Although I wouldn't suggest sleeping if you do want a personal pair of these, since the retail is so low, I do not suggest these for resale intentions. On to September 4th, we have another intense day. Starting it off, we have the Jordan 1 Tokyo Biohack dropping for $170. You could expect very good profit on these with a very solid margin as well in all sizes. But of course, like always with Jordan 1s, the smaller sizes do tend to hold the best value. Also on September 4th, we have not one, but 4 total Dunk low disrupts dropping. The Dunk hype has been absolutely insane lately, and this will also transition into the Dunk low disrupts, although not quite as hype. And even though they are women's sneakers, there still is a decent margin to be made on these, so definitely worth going for all 4 colorways. But of course, if anything changes, I'll keep you guys updated. And another September 4th drop will be 3 colorways in the Yeezy Slides. This is probably my favorite September 4th drop because similar to the last pairs, all are expected to be profitable with pretty solid margins as well. Although the profit isn't extremely high, what makes them so special is that retail of only $55, which leaves plenty of room for an incredible margin on these. Easy money at its finest. Another September 4th drop is the Jordan 5 Alternate Grape Golf. Similar to the Fire Red Golf 5, I'm really not expecting anything great for these, but if you do want a personal pair, I don't suggest sleeping because I definitely do not see these going for under retail, and even if they do go for under retail eventually, the shipping costs you'll have to pay compared to getting free shipping from Nike, it's really not going to be worth it, but I do not suggest these for resale intentions. Maybe you can make a little bit of lunch money if you're patient off a size 13 or 14, but that's about it. Finally, for September 4th, for $230, the Foamposite 1996 All-Star will be dropping. If you do like Foamposites like myself, I do suggest waiting for a sale price on these. I do not expect these to sell out initially. Then on September 5th, for $200, the Jordan 7 Greater China will be releasing. For these, I would suggest only copying for personal wear. I do expect them to perform very closely to the Hair Jordan that released not too long ago, or even the Jordan 12 Indigos, but those did have a retail of $10 less than these. Those were $190 compared to these being $200, and that margin was already really poor, so that $10 really does eat away at the potential profit you would be making even if you do have no tax. So at the moment, if you do have tax in your location, definitely personal only. And if you don't have tax in your location, maybe at best, you make a couple of dollars in the very large sizes, but that's all I'm expecting. The real fun of September 5th is the Yeezy Quantum restock, the original pair. This restock will have higher quantity, but you should still expect solid profit with a pretty good margin as well, despite the retail being $250. Moving to September 6th, though, for the concepts drop, and then the full drop being on 12th, we have the ZX9000 Adidas Concepts collab. I would expect at least easy lunch money to be made on these, and since the retail is only $140, the margin isn't too bad either. Definitely another drop to look forward to. Jumping over to September 10th though, and quite a large drop, I'm aware, but I'm sure some stuff will come up soon in between those few days, so subscribe and enable post notifications just to stay 100% updated on all those potential drops for any of the ones I'm mentioning today. I do make how to cop guides for all these extremely hyped sneakers as well, and also again, follow Keith Adam 10 for urgent updates like shock drops, raffle lists, anything of that nature. We will be seeing a CPFM restock on the 10th for the Air Force Ones. These are custom pairs on Nike.com, but they are still going to be extremely profitable with great margins, like you've already seen from the initial release, and they could still, even though they're customs, be sold on GOAT or eBay easily. The sale volume is absolutely ridiculous on these. On September 12th, for $225, we have the Oregon Jordan 5 releasing. Now, despite the high retail of $225, these are still expected to perform quite well with solid profit and a decent margin too. So this is due to them looking extremely similar intentionally to the PE pair in 2014, which is extremely hyped. Obviously, this is not that same pair. It is not a retro of that pair by any means, but simply because they are reminiscent and they do resemble that pair slightly, that is why they're going to perform pretty well. Also, on September 12th, for $230, the Yeezy 380 Pepper will be dropping. Although we have many good Yeezy 380 releases coming, this isn't one of the best, unfortunately. As of now, I would suggest copying for personal only, just like I suggested for the Mists or also the Blue Oats. These will definitely end up being somewhat close to the same, but I'll keep you guys updated in case anything does change regarding stock. Jumping to the 18th though, for a whopping $300. The Air Max 1 Denim will be dropping. I'm really unsure of how these will perform due to the very high retail. I'm not expecting anything too good at the moment, but I'll keep you guys updated. As of now though, don't sleep if you do want a personal pair. I'll say that at the very least, because I don't expect these to go on sale. Moving on to the 19th, for $190, the Jordan 14 Hyper Royal will be releasing. Although the Toro did perform very well, granted, I'm not expecting as good as a performance on these. But regardless, I would still say that if you do have no tax in your state, you can potentially make some lunch money on these with a very poor margin, and that's specifically because you're only going to be paying $190 flat. If it does come to a store where you have to pay shipping, I wouldn't really suggest these for resale intentions. And again, ensure that you're only getting them if you have no tax in your location. Also on the 19th, for $220 now, the Yeezy 350 Azriel. I would expect these to perform in a very similar manner to what we saw with the Israfil and also the Zion, somewhere in between that range. So this does mean that sizes under 8 will be profitable with or without tax, and anything larger than a size 8, I would strictly suggest copying if you don't have tax in your state. On to the 23rd though, we will be getting the Dunk High Pro Green for $115. All sizes are expected to be profitable with an incredible margin as well. The Dunk hype has been really real. It's been incredible lately. Moving on to the 24th though, for only $100, we will be seeing the top 10 high Star Wars. Boba Fett, specifically for Adidas. Due to the very low retail of only around $100 for these and the unique packaging, combined with the fact that it's a collaboration and also limited stock, I can see these performing pretty well with a good margin since the retail is so low. So this is definitely a release to keep your eyes out for. Then on to the 25th, we have the other two Air Max denims. One being the 95 for $180 and one being the Air Max 90 for $160. I can see easy potential for lunch money on these on large sizes for the 90, but it's really hard to be sure on these with them being this far out. I haven't really seen how denims are going to be performing, so perhaps we'll be able to gauge it slightly better once the first pair of the Air Max 1 denims drops, which I'm still really not sure about that pair. But again, as always, I'll keep you guys updated. On to the 26th, for $190, we will be seeing the Jordan 13 Lucky Green release. Expect to be able to make easy lunch money on these if you do have no tax in your state. The larger sizes specifically will be the best as usual when it comes to any non-Jordan 1 retro. And also on the 26th, for $110, we will be getting another dunk. This will be the Michigan Dunk High. Expect these to be extremely profitable with an incredible margin as well, just like the prior dunks we've been mentioning. Then moving on to some other drops with no release date at the moment, but are still slated for some time in September. First, the SB Dunk Doraemon for $110. I might have butchered the name, I apologize for that, but they are expected to be extremely profitable and hold a great margin as well, just like the prior dunks we've been talking about. Then we also have another extremely hype shoe dropping sometime this month, the Air Force 1 Paranoise 2.0 for $200. Despite the retail being $200 on an Air Force 1, don't hesitate on these. Based off how the last pair performed, you could certainly expect an incredible margin on these, just like the last pair. And finally, we should also be getting the Yeezy Quantum Ophanim for $250. You should expect a similar performance to what we saw on the Bariums for these, unlike the restock that we're getting for the original pair early this month. So that means This one isn't really expected to perform too great. Don't expect a great margin, but nonetheless, there is still profit to be made, specifically on the very large sizes, at least sizes over 8, and the bigger the better when it comes to these, which is quite ironic when it comes to Yeezys, considering it's usually quite the contrary. But anyway, that will conclude it for today. Again, remember, the limited endurance restock will be September 1st, Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m. local in Europe. Tweeted from KeithAdam10. Feel free to leave a like if you did enjoy, or you perhaps learned a thing or two. Finally, feel free to subscribe and enable post notifications just to stay 100% updated, and follow my Twitter, KeithAdam10, just for any urgent updates. But with that, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one.